Happy Saturday. You are tuned in to the Hyacinth Henderson show. It is another Saturday. We are here together. I am happy to be here. I hope that you are happy to be here. I hope that all is well. I'm going to give you all a minute to join. My phone just went off. That means Facebook is notifying everyone that we are here. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in this space. Come on in this place. I have a fantastic, phenomenal, amazing, progressive, life-changing show lined up for us today. And I want you to be here. So get here, get comfortable, and then be prepared to get a little bit uncomfortable. All right. I'm going to give you all some time to join. I see the people coming in. Let me move the fan. It's blowing all my paper. All right, come in here, come in here. I see y'all getting in here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your patience. It looks like the view is a little off today. I had to try to get in my Facebook account. Something was going on with that, but I was able to get back in. And here we are. All right, get in here, get in here, get in here. Again, you are tuned into the Hyacinth Henderson show, formerly Cream. Cream was credit, real estate, entrepreneurship, assets, and mindset. It's a new season. It is a new season, and in a new season, we recognize and honor that as things change, we must change as well. So the name of the show going forward is the Hyacinth Henderson Show. We still gonna talk about money. We still gonna talk about mindset. We're gonna talk about all those things. All right. So I'm going to get into it very quickly. Well, right away, very promptly would be the word. I'm going to get into it very promptly because I have a phenomenal show lined up for you today. And I'm the first part of the show does not require you to be stationary. So if you're driving, if you're doing your morning cycling, if you're jogging, whatever you're doing, wrap that up, because in about 15-20 minutes, depending on how long-winded I am, then you're going to need to be stationary. Okay. I'm going to take you through an exercise that I know and believe that you're all going to appreciate. So I wanted to quickly pop in here and bring the conversation about real estate to today's show, because there's not a day that goes by that I don't get asked about real estate. I see everybody coming in and affirming themselves. I love that. I love y'all for that. Affirm yourself. Yes, affirm yourself. You can see how I am cheesing now, and I see y'all affirming yourself. Let me tell you why I love when we affirm ourselves, because when we affirm ourselves, it's like putting ourselves like rooted, like we're getting in stance position, right? I don't want to say fighting position, but we're like, okay, I'm grounded. I'm rooted. I know who I am. I have affirmed myself. I know exactly what I'm capable of. And I know things may come that may cause me to sway a little bit here and there, but I'm rooted. I'm rooted in this affirmation that I constantly repeat to myself. I'm rooted in this affirmation that I believe. So I love when y'all affirm yourselves. Thank you for dropping them in the comment section. All right, so we're going to talk about real estate. It's a lot of chatter going on about real estate. And I want to say that we're at the high of the real estate market. Okay, so what does that mean? Prices are higher than normal. Prices are higher than average. People are saying, I don't need an inspection. I don't need to get inside. I'll pay you above asking price. That is the market that we are in. We call that a seller's market. I did an episode on this a few weeks, maybe now a few months ago back. I don't know which one it is. I'll try to go back and tag it later, but I won't make any promises because I'll be living my life these days. However, we are at the high of the market. Okay. It is a seller's market. And so unless you're getting a deal by buying direct, right? You're going right to the homeowner. Maybe you know your dear Aunt Sally or somebody, they want to sell their house, or maybe you are on these programs and platforms where we look up distressed properties. We know how many foreclosures are filed in Dade, Broward, Monroe County, and any other county that we want access to. We can actually look up and see, even though your friend is still posting a Louis and Gucci, the bank filed foreclosure and she didn't let you know that, right? So we can see who has filed foreclosure, what's going on. And when we start to see a trend of the amount of foreclosures being filed, we're sitting back waiting like, okay, we know something's going to happen, right? So we don't need our water yet. We ain't thirsty. Let me tie this in. And I'm going to talk fast today because I got Mr. Henderson coming in 30 minutes with a special guest about business loans and business credit. So I know you're like, dang, Hyacinth, you start talking about foreclosures, then you said we ain't thirsty yet. Let me tie this in. When I travel, right, and I go through the airport, we know that now, due to somebody put something in their shoe years ago, now forever, we can't bring water on the plane, right? You can only get water after the security checkpoint, right? Even though that happened, gosh, maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe 15, 20 years ago that happened. Now, always, you cannot bring your bottle of water with you from home. You got to pour your water out before you go through security. And after you get through security, then you get to buy some more water. Same bottle of water, but for a higher price. So let me tie this into the real estate market. When I say we ain't thirsty yet, because I'm watching, I'm seeing, I'm like, okay, another foreclosure file, another pre-foreclosure file. I see what's going on. I'm not thirsty yet because I don't have to get out there and buy a property now. Let's tie this back into the airport and the water situation. When I travel, because I know I can't bring water, I either, depends on the time of my flight, I'll get up and drink a lot of water before my flight. And I'll time that thing out, right? And so I know if my flight is 3 hours away, I know that at least 5 hours ahead of time, I need to start drinking water so that I won't be running to the bathroom on the plane, because I want to use the restroom before I get on the plane. I'll use it in the airport, but I don't prefer to use it on the plane, right? And so when I do that, I then am faced with the decision, right? Sometimes I do that and I'm cool. Sometimes, however, I don't do that. And I may get to the airport and I'm thirsty. And I'm like, dang, am I going to pay $5 for this bottle of water? And I know at best it probably costs $1. Like if I go to Sam's or BJ's, the cost of the water will probably be $1. But if I'm on the airplane and I am thirsty and I did not drink my water ahead of time, what I'm saying is if I did not plan and prepare, when they come by and say, you want to buy some water for $5? I'm going to say yes. If I planned and prepared, I drank my water ahead of time. Let's say it's an early morning flight, because they're different situations. Let's say this is a 6 a.m. flight and your girl, if I'm catching a flight, I'm going to be honest with you. Most times I'm running to the airport. Like I'm pressing the Uber driver, get me there now, right? Okay. So let's say it's a 6 a.m. flight and I did not wake up in time, 3 hours, 5 hours ahead of time to drink my water. My decision on whether I am going to buy water in the airport is then going to be based on what's going to take place when I land. You see how I'm thinking this through? And I'm sharing this with you because when it comes time to purchasing a property, you got to be thinking this through. So what does that look like? Okay, it's 6 a.m. I ain't get up and drink a lot of water. When I land, am I going to rent a car? If I'm going to rent a car, I ain't buying the water in the airport. Because once I get that rental car, I'm going to drive to the nearest store and buy me a case of water, right? Buy me a little 6-pack or something, I'll be good. If I am not renting a car and I'm going to be picked up, cool, I don't need to buy airport water. If I'm Ubering, where is my hotel? Is my hotel in the city where I can walk downstairs and a block away, I can walk to purchase some water? I'm not buying water. Am I Ubering and my hotel is in a secluded area, not that much traffic? I'm going to buy water. I took you through that process because let's go back to the real estate market that we're in. We're in a seller's market where things are overpriced. Are you thirsty? Or maybe you just need it. Look, Hyacinth, I need this water because I got to take my pill. I ain't had time to do all this planning, but I know at the time I'm going to be on this flight, I have to take my medication. And if I don't take my medication, stuff is going to be affected. So I need to buy this water on this flight. Plan for that. Or are you the type of person who are just la-di-da-di-da? You know what, Hyacinth? I didn't think about that. I'm just buying water just to be buying water. I didn't think about the structure and the plan. So let's go back to real estate. Okay, so if you know right now, if you're buying a house right now, you're overpaying. Unless you're getting a distressed property or you're going right to the seller, you're overpaying. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. It is what it is. It depends on your water situation. You may need to be overpaying right now. I don't know your personal situation. That is fine. The only thing I want to say to you is evaluate your situation, not your neighbor's situation, not your cousin's situation, not your friend's situation. Why do you want to buy a house? Well, my cousin just bought a house. Why do you want to buy a house? Well, I've been here in this house for 10 years and I ain't get a new house yet. Why do you want to buy a house? Well, my sister just bought a house. These are real life answers that I receive. I'm not making this up. These are answers that people tell me. And if you're one of the people that told me these things, trust me, other people have as well. I don't want you to think you're alone in your emotional decision making. There are a whole tribe of people who do that. That's why we're here having this conversation. So when I say evaluate your current situation, let me show you what that looks like. I just had a discovery call with a prospective client Today's Saturday. I think it was Thursday. I had a discovery call with her. Young lady. Actually, her birthday is on my dad's birthday. So I forgot to tell him that, which is next Wednesday. Mr. Henderson's birthday is next Wednesday, September 22nd. So she just got a new job, and it's paying her $30,000 more annually than her previous job. And I was like, okay. So the purpose of the discovery call is to find out what you're doing with your money, where your money mindset is, and how we can work together. So through this questioning, I asked her what her number 3 goals were. I found out all her income stuff and that kind of stuff. And I said, before we end the call, I'm going to send you the intake sheets. What is your goal? What are your top 3 goals? She said, number 1, build a savings for her daughter. Number 2, to pay off her debt. And number 3, to get a solid investment plan, get her investments going. I told her I was very proud of her. She was shocked. I said, ma'am, you're renting. You just got a $30,000 salary increase, and you did not give me the answer that I hear 99% of people say, I want to buy a house. She said, oh, no, I want to buy a house right now. I know I got to get my feet solid. I got to get myself together. I said, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to send you out these intake sheets, and let's see how we can work together. Speaking of discovery calls, let this be your notice, one of the first notice, that starting January of 2022, all consultations will cost $100. So if you've been thinking about calling the Henderson Financial Group, if you were supposed to call, you ain't called yet, now would be the time to do that. Because in January, there's going to be a fee for that. And that fee is going to be $100 just to get on the phone to speak to us. Why? We put a lot of free information out here. And there are a lot of people who say, yeah, I heard about the shows, but I ain't watch it. Yeah, somebody gave me your book, but I ain't read it. And then we have those who call, who make an appointment and don't show up for their call. So what we're going to do is you're going to impose a $100 fee, and then we're going to revamp our website to include a lot of the answers to your common questions. And then we have those people who want to pick your brain and then compare notes to somebody else. And that's fine. You're just going to pay $100 to be able to pick our brain. Okay. So this young lady evaluated her situation. So because we're in the season of people who are saying, hey, I want to buy a house, all this stuff. Tracy says good stuff on the consultation fee. Thank you. Thank you. We've been vacillating back and forth and like, should we want to help the people? And then it dawned on me, we help the people every week, several times a week with free information on Facebook. Like we have an archive of free education and information. So thank you. I know it's going to take our firm and our clients in a completely different direction, because now we'll be able to invest our time in those people who are investing their time, right? And so also let this be a notice that if I send you the intake sheets and you don't return the intake sheets, and then you call and schedule another call and say, I know I didn't return the intake sheets, but I want another call. We're not having that. We're not doing that no more. Okay. So I'm giving you 3 months to get over that. Okay. All right. So because many people want to purchase a house, and I don't know your situation. I don't know your dire need of water. I don't know if you can wait till you get off the airplane to get some water or not. I don't know where you at. So let me give you some things to think about, because a lot of people don't think about these things. Number 1, ask yourself, are you ready to buy a house? Why do I want to buy a house is the question that you want to ask yourself. Number 2, assess your current plan. Here's a hint. I make good money is not a reason to buy a house. People, stop telling your friends, your loved ones, and your family members, you make good money. You need to stop renting. Go ahead and buy a house. Because that person who you're telling that to could be making good money and spending great money, meaning they could make $100,000 and spend $120,000. People don't often tell you, yeah, I know you know about my job title and how much I'm bringing in, but y'all, you don't see this debt. So I make good money is not a reason to say I want to buy a house. When you're assessing your current position, you're going to look at your credit. There are plenty of people who don't know what their credit looks like. So yes, you can start with Credit Karma and the free credit monitoring sites. However, I suggest that you pay to play. The credit bureaus have where you can do credit monitoring and get your score for a fee. Find the one that works for you and monitor your credit, because you don't want to get to the mortgage broker's table or the bank's table and be surprised. And that happens more often than you'd realize. So you're going to look at your current income. You'll look at your credit. You're going to look at your current spending habits. And this is a big one, because I speak to people all the time and I want to buy a house. But you are spending everything coming in. Well, what you think? That's the equivalent of somebody saying, I know I'm cheating on you, baby, and I'm dogging you out, and I can't be faithful now. But after we get married, I'm going to be a faithful man. Think about that. Think about that. I'm going to change. Once we say I do, everything's going to change. If you think about that and you say, Hyacinth, that don't make good sense, then I want you to look at your current spending habits and say, hey, how am I spending my money? Am I being a good steward over the resources that I have now? Or am I just acting like, child, I don't know, but I'm going to change as soon as I sign that HUD, right? As soon as I sign that HUD and sign my life away for the mortgage documents, I'm going to change. So you're going to evaluate your credit, sign up for a credit monitoring service, pay the fee. You're going to evaluate your current spending habits, and you're going to get serious about your savings. Here's the thing. When people speak to me about preparing for home ownership, I break the savings component down into two parts. You need to save 20% and you need to save 6% of what, Hyacinth? Of the purchase price. So if you want to buy a home for $300,000, I suggest that you prepare to save $60,000. If you want to buy a home for the down payment, if you want to buy a home for $300,000, I suggest you save $18,000 for the closing costs. Well, Hyacinth, there are all kind of down payment programs, and then do I really have to save $60,000? You're right. There can be all kind of down payment assistance programs and things like that. However, you don't want to count on that and not be prepared. Right? So it is better to be prepared and not need it, i.e. I got the 20% over here because it makes sense, right? I got the 20%. So I'm going to cut back on my tricking. I'm going to cut back on my traveling. I'm going to cut back on treating myself because I want to be prepared so that I can achieve this goal, right? So you're going to have the 20%. And if somebody comes and says, you know what, it's a program, you qualify for down payment assistance, you don't even need $60,000, all you need is $30,000, cool. I understand that. That's great. But what I am doing is I am mentally preparing you because things change all the time. And the last thing that I want any of you to do is to say, well, I was going to buy it, but they changed the rules. And now I thought they was going to have this program, but they don't have this program available anymore. And so now I can't buy a house. We are preparing ourselves to be in the game, no matter who calls the rules, no matter who the players are. We're in the game. Somebody say, I am in the game. I'm not only in the game when this president is in office. I'm not only in the game when my husband is paying the bills. I'm not only in the game when my sugar daddy is sliding me an extra $300 every month. I am in the game, and so therefore I am preparing myself to be in the game so that my foundation can be solid no matter what comes along. They changed the requirements. I'm still in the game. I got laid off. I'm still in the game. Whatever happens, I'm still in the game because I am strengthening those foundational muscles. Okay. Now let's go to a Hyacinth. Somebody told me you could put down 3.5%. Yes, you can. That is FHA. Let me tell you what FHA is. FHA is a government sponsored program. Anytime the government is in things, there's going to be some rules to this. And I want to let you know that most government programs are for the less fortunate. If that's you, that's fine. Just understand what you're getting into. So if you want to put down 3.5% and the purchase price is $300,000, that's $10,500 that you need for the down payment, plus your 6% of $18,000. Lots of people don't know this information. I get calls, emails weekly. And when I have the conversations about the process of buying a house, people don't understand. That's why I'm sharing it. If it wasn't something that needed to be shared, if it didn't keep poking me here and poking me there, child, we'll just be talking about meditation the entire episode. But since it is poking me and jigging at me and it keeps coming into my reality, then I have to answer the call and say, okay, let me go ahead and share this information because nobody needs to be able to say they didn't hear it. You follow the Henderson Financial Group. Did you watch the video? Did you share the video? Did you share the video, or are you steady saying, child, you made good money buy a house? You made good money. Okay. So, FHA is Federal Housing Administration. That's where I was. So if you do an FHA loan where the government says, hey, I'm in the party too, right? I'm in the party. There's going to be some extras that you're going to have to do. That extra is PMI. Most people never heard of that. PMI is private mortgage insurance. What is that? Private mortgage insurance, I would say it's kind of like Okay, well, let me tell you what it is, and then I'm going to give you an analogy. Private mortgage insurance is the government saying, hey, since you only want to put down 3.5% and other people putting down 20%, you only have a little bit of skin in the game. You only put down 3.5%. I put down the 97.5% or whatever the number is, right? And so there's a higher likelihood that you may foreclose because all you did is put down $10,000 on a $300,000 house. I want to insure my interest, government. I want to insure my interest. You're going to have to pay something called private mortgage insurance. Well, I'm going to get a private mortgage insurance company. You're going to pay the premium every month. You're going to pay them every month just in case you decide to not pay your bills or something happens and you cannot afford this mortgage no longer. The private mortgage insurance company will give me my money back. That's what the government is saying. Most people don't know that. If you didn't know that, now you know. So now your homework is, let me research these things that Hyacinth are sharing with me, because I got to do more than say, I want to buy a house. You make money. The market is high. Buy a house. You need to know what you know. Now do you see why I say prepare yourself to say, prepare yourself to start saving more money. And I wrote that down. I don't know if okay, I didn't get there. I was jumping ahead of myself. All right. The next thing that I want you to think about and prepare yourself when it comes to buying a home is the property taxes and the homeowner's insurance. You don't have to have the house in mind. You don't have to have the contract yet, but you know what area you're living in. I know what areas I'm going to live in. These areas appeal to me. These areas don't. So if I'm in the market to buy a home, I'm going to do my research, because I am not going to just wait for the mortgage broker and the realtors to tell me whatever they want to tell me so that they can get a commission. I'm going to be an informed home buyer. So I'm going to look in this area, pull up how much are the property taxes? Are the property taxes $10,000 a year? Are they $3,000 a year? How much are the property taxes? Because the mortgage payment that you thought you had in mind is going to be affected by the property taxes. How much is the homeowner's insurance? When we sell homes, when we use our real estate license at the Henderson Financial Group, my people know, my realtors know, listen, don't be selling my clients no home without giving them the complete picture. Pull the property taxes, pull the insurance, pull all this. I know they got a pre-approval for $300,000 and this house is $270,000. I want to know what the property taxes are now. I want to know what they were. I want to know what the homeowner's insurance. So you do these things so that there won't be any surprises. Because could you imagine buying a home or signing a contract? You put your money in escrow, you're doing the mortgage, and then surprise, you got to pay $600 a month for property taxes. Surprise, you got to pay $300 a month for mortgage and for homeowner's insurance. These are the things that we need to research before. One of the things that are near and dear to my heart is, especially for first-time home buyers, to stay away from associations. My millennials and Generation Zs, I'm on the higher end of millennial, I'm 40 now, but my Generation Zs, y'all want these condos, rent them. Rent the condos. It's okay. Rent the condos and leave that responsibility to somebody else. If you want to buy a property that's going to bring in income. Why do I suggest that you stay away from these condos and these homeowner association fees? Because, especially in this market that we're in, they have the power to do something called a special assessment. What does a special assessment mean in plain English? It means that when you signed a contract and you bought this home, we told you that the association fee was going to be $200 a month, maybe $150. Now, the building, if you're in a condo, the building needs new insurance. The building needs a new roof. The building needs new beams. The building needs these things. And since you live here, you're going to have to pay for it. And we're going to do a special assessment. And now we need you to give us $10,000 by XYZ date. You don't have the $10,000, you better come up with it. You don't come up with the $10,000, some of the most aggressive people to quickly foreclose on your property are those associations. There are all types of horror stories about them. So you have special assessment, you have they're all of a sudden increasing the monthly association fee. I know you signed it with $150, but now, child, look at this economy. Nobody's working anymore. We need things done. The prices are going up. Things can't be shipped here. The supply chain is backed up. And so it's taking longer. The prices of things are going up. And you know what that means? Now your association fee is $500 a month. Do you got a golden pot of money in the basement? So if it is your first time at the rodeo, I strongly suggest against that. Or to be mindful and be aware so that you can say, okay, if they come springing this on me, what am I going to do? And a lot of times I hear it all the time. People are not prepared and they end up saying, well, I got to sell the property, or they put a lien against my property, and they did all these special things, and people don't think that that's a reality. All right, let's move forward. Make sure you have reserves after buying a home. So a part of me telling people that you need 20% down, even if you get a program that's only putting 10% down, the goal is for you to be used to saving, and so that you can have some reserves. What are reserves? Meaning after you pay your down payment and your closing costs, your bank account ain't on zero. Your bank account still has a nice portion of money in there. Here's my favorite. Simulate your new mortgage payment. You want to buy a house? Cool. You need your water right now. The market is high. You're like, Hyacinth, I'm on this plane. I got to take my pill. Okay. I need to buy this $5 bottle of water. No problem. The market is high. You need to buy a house. Simulate your mortgage payment. What do I mean by that? Do your homework. The internet is available to most people. Plug in the amount, the purchase price, and the interest rate based on your credit. You're going to come up with your principal and interest payment. Then you're going to come up with your taxes and insurance payment. If you're one of those people who say, I want the government to help me, then you're going to also add in your PMI. So that's P&I, which is principal and interest. That's T&I, which is taxes and insurance. And that's PMI, and that's private mortgage insurance. So you're going to add all three of those up. That's going to give you your monthly figure. Let's say that figure is $3,500 a month. That's what you're going to need to buy the home of your dreams, and whatever it takes, that's what you're going to need every month. If you're living with someone and you aren't paying rent, or you don't have an overhead expense, then you need to, my suggestion is for you to now save every month $3,500. You ain't bought the house yet. Good. But when you buy the house, this is what you're going to be paying. Put it aside. You can't do it? What do you mean you can't do it? Of course you can do it. Well, how can I do it? You can make more money. You can reduce your expenses. This is where you get creative, not at the closing table, not when it's time. Oh, okay, well, I do have an overhead expense and it's $2,000 a month, but I'm moving on up and I want more and this and this. That's fine. Now you need to be saving $1,500 a month. And when I say saving, not for you to go on vacation, not for you to spend because you need 4 new tires, and a separate account that is earmarked for housing, future housing. So you're going to simulate that mortgage payment. Let's see if you really going to be, oh, you did it for 2 months and then something came up and you had an excuse. Girl, you may want to reconsider that mortgage. Oh, you did it for 6 months and you're like, man, I ain't doing this. I'll just do it when I get married. Okay, that's like the man who say he going to stop cheating when y'all say I do. Would you believe him? Would you believe him? If you wouldn't believe him, then girl, you might have to rethink and say, you know, it ain't nothing wrong renting right now. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to simulate your mortgage payment and ask yourself, are you prepared to diligently put this aside every month? All right, let's see if we're going to quickly be able to get into this. It's going to be a quick crash course. If you're still with me, drop a 1 in the comments. We're going to talk about the subconscious mind. So I love the mind. I love exploring. It's just something that I'm just very fascinated with. And so I'm always exploring different things. And so that's why you may know me today. And then if we don't keep in contact on a regular basis, by the time we speak 6 months ago, you're like, who is this woman? Yes, because I've grown and I've changed. And so it's a fascination with the mind. A lot of people, especially my children, they tease me like, oh, you don't remember that? You don't remember? And I'm like, dang, why is it some stuff I don't remember that happened more recently? And then there are some things that happened years ago that I remember vividly. Thank y'all so much for the ones in the comment. I appreciate y'all being here with me. I know I'm a little special. Y'all special too, because you dropped the ones in the comments. Okay, thank you. So I was thinking about this when I was riding my bike Tuesday morning. I'm trying to get back on the right path. Okay. All right. So I remember it was maybe like 3 years ago. My daughter and I went to Dillard's and we caught on New Year's Day, on January 1st of every year, Dillard's has this big, huge sale where prices are marked down so low. And, people are usually, they have the ropes marked off and it's just like a big deal. People are usually camped outside ahead of time. Well, I'm not doing that. So me and my daughter rolled in one January 1st in the afternoon. Part 2, yes, Diana, yes, we'll do that. Maybe, kind of. Commitment is just kind of, but we'll see about doing a part 2 next week. So we rolled in one afternoon on a New Year's Day and we're shopping. my daughter, it's so funny to me. I'm gonna try not to laugh like I really be laughing. But my daughter came over with her friend and she was like, "Oh, mom, XYZ." And I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Kyla's mom. Nice to meet you." And they both look at me like I have four heads. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And the girl's kind of like, and I'm like, "Oh, so I keep shopping." I'm like, "Child, please, I ain't studying y'all kids, right?" So when she walks away, my daughter is like, "Mom, you met her before. You used to go to her house all the time. And when my son, the son used to play with her. Lord, help me. Hold the laugh, man. The son used to play with her brother and her and the mom. You and the mom used to sit down and da da da." And I was like, "Oh, I remember now." She was like, "Mom, you just reintroduce yourself to her." So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about some other things that I remember. And I came to the conclusion, right, that I remember things that evoked an emotion, a memorable emotion. So when my daughter tied in my son and saying that, and she tied in on Halloween, I was there with my son and the sister's brother or whatever, and we were playing, and I got that emotional memory. Oh, I remember it now. Before you telling me, I'm like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." Right? So when I think about that, we remember things that we have an emotional experience with. We remember things that we have an emotional experience with. So when I think about the work that I've been doing in the financial space for the past 20 years, I've spoken with a lot of people. And before, I was kind of shy. I was in the office shy. You couldn't get me out and to speak to people. Now I'm speaking with people. I'm doing podcasts and Facebooks. And I'm just like, I'm speaking to people, and some people, they really getting it. And some people, they just make me talk to they time blue. They blue in the face. And I'm like, something's going on. So I started thinking about the mind and the profound effect that our subconscious mind has on what we do in our waking day. So now I understand why there are people who say, "Hyacinth, I hear what you're saying. It makes good sense, but I don't know why I'm doing it, right? I just don't know why I'm doing that." And then there are some people who have to touch the fire to get hot. So what I want us to do is, I want you to recall. You're going to do this afterwards because we're low on time, but I'm going to take you through an emotional freedom technique, EFT. I'm going to take you through an emotional freedom technique so that we can clear the subconscious, so that the work that you need to do, you'll be able to do it more freely. So the exercise, the homework is going to be, I want you to recall a money story when you didn't have much, when you were poor, when you were broke, when you didn't know how ends were going to meet, when you was eating syrup sandwiches. Maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe it was your family arguing about money. Recall that money story that isn't as fluffy as you would like to be. Recall that money story, and I want you to write it down. You're going to do this after the show. You're going to write it down, and most importantly, you're going to write down how it made you feel. How did you feel when you didn't have much? How did you feel when you heard your parents arguing about money? How did you feel when your ex-husband said he was going to deposit the child support and he didn't deposit the child support, so you couldn't buy school uniforms? How did you feel during that time? So write down, recall the story, recall the memory, and write down how you felt, right? And so when you write down how you felt, because oftentimes what happens is people come from poverty and they have these poverty stories and these poverty experiences, and then now they're here and they get comfortable. And so when I tell you to go higher, when I tell you that there's more available for you, your subconscious mind is holding on to the past experiences. So you like, "Hyacinth, I hear what you're saying, but child, all I know is I'm no longer eating syrup sandwiches, so I'm okay right now. I'm okay being stuck and stagnant, making $50,000 a year when I know I could easily make $100,000 a year. I'm okay being stuck and stagnant, sitting on my gift when I know I should be sharing my gift. I'm okay with being stuck and stagnant because I know where I came, and I believe this is as far as I'm going to get." And so this is a very real thing that I experience with people who I talk to, and also with myself. So I'm going to take you through a quick round. We may be a few minutes late for the 10:15 show. Y'all hang tight. This is important. And come back and watch the replay and share it. I'm going to take you through a quick round of an emotional freedom technique. I know the technique works. Not only do I use it on myself, I use it with my son who's 10 years old. So if a 10-year-old can do it, and I instantly see a shift in his aura, instantly, I can look at him this way and I can say, "Come on, we need to do this." And then by the time we're finished, it's like night and day. Okay. So it's an emotional freedom technique. So, and I'll explain more about it next Saturday. So Diana, yes, I will do a part 2. I'm going to have you, I want you to imagine that inside your body, right? Because a lot of times we get caught up on the flesh. I want you to understand, accept, and to know that your flesh is, it's just decoration. It's just there because if we walk around with all your cells and stuff, you know, humans not really ready for that, right? That's not what we here for. But I want you to imagine inside your body there being all types of highways and byways. Picture a scene of different highways and cars and different things going. That's what's inside your body. Those are your cells, child, your DNA, your veins, everything. Those are programmable. There are certain energetic points, and we're going to talk about this more next week, energy points that hold memory, that program your subconscious mind and dictate the action that you take right now in the present. You're like, dang, I thought I got over that because I was a kid. Oh, that experience. No, child, that sludge is still on you. So I'm going to take you through a process where we're going to wake up. We're going to tap on those energetic points, right? We're going to tap on them so that you could be like, hey, y'all, hey, we're not here no more. I'm waking you up to tell you this is what we're going to say. So the first thing I want you to do, and I'll slow it down next week, but I got to get it out because it was on me to get it out. So you're going to hold up your hand. This part is called your karate chop point, KCP, your karate chop point. You're going to hold up your hand. I hope you're seated. You're going to take 3 deep breaths. Do that 2 more times. I don't want to be blowing my hot breath, and I don't know how it sounds. It may sound like, ah. So do that 2 more times. And you're going to repeat the statement after me. You're going to take 2 to 3 fingers and you're going to tap it. You're not going to be like, ooh, la, la, la. You're going to tap it. You are waking up those energy points that you can't see, that you didn't even know was there before today, but they're there. Repeat after me. Even though it is not okay or safe for my life to change, I totally and completely accept myself. Even though it is not okay or safe for my life to change, I totally and completely accept myself. Even though it is not okay or safe for my life to change, I totally and completely accept myself. You're going to take a big inhale and a big exhale. We're going to clear our energy. And then we're going to tap several points, 1 round of certain meridians to wake up that energy. And I want you to know, you're saying, Hyacinth, you need to say it exactly how I'm saying it because, and we'll explain this more next Saturday, the subconscious does not hear not. The subconscious does not hear can't. So the tapping statement, it doesn't hear low vibrational words. So when the tapping statement is going to be, I fear change. But when I show you how to tap on these meridian points, your subconscious is going to hear, I change. Okay? So we're going to start here. The inner of our eyebrow, I got 2 fingers up, and we're just going to tap here. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. Then we're going to go to the outer part of our eyebrow. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. Then we're going to come to under our eyelid. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. Then we're going to come to under our nose. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. Then we're going to come to under our lower lip. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. Then we're going to come to right here, like our little collarbone area. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. Almost done. Then we're going to come right here. If you're a woman and you're wearing a bra, it's right below your bra strap. Or if you're anybody who's wearing a bra, it's right below your bra strap. Shut up. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to tap right here. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. And the last tapping point for today is not right in the middle of our hair, a little back. I fear change. I fear change. I fear change. Take a deep inhale and exhale. and you're going to blow it out. Drink lots of water today. Don't think about it. Forget about it. Get some rest. After you do what you need to do today, drink lots of water, and we're going to talk more into details about it. Save this live. You can come back and catch it at any time. Share it with people. A lot of times the things that we need to do and that we know that we should be doing are held back because of our fear of change, because of our fear of changing ourselves, because of our fear of changing our environment. What's going to happen when I change? Am I still going to have my husband? Am I still going to have my kids? Am I still going to have this job? And so I totally accept that. So we're going to get into that next week in a little more details, but I did want to share that. Oh, and if you need to, I know I rushed through that. I feel like I rushed through it. But if you need to watch the replay, watch the replay. Until next time, stay safe and stay sane. Peace.